Hi, my name's Jason and this is my daily vlog about living with CMT and other things that happen in my life. Hope you enjoy.
Just a quick video. I'm in Mearside Tesco. We've just finished doing the shopping. It's another hot day, although for the first time in a long time my hands have gone blue from the cold, so I don't know what's causing that, I've no idea. It must be CMT related as everything else is. Yeah, we just done a little bit of shopping, not done a lot today. Get back, sort stuff out. This morning it was mainly just doing household maintenance and stuff, you know, banking and sorting out garbage like that. I'm not expecting any massive posts today. I watched a film last night called The Smoke. That was basically like a British thriller where a guy falls on the wrong side of some gangsters who he tries to rip off, and it's just all about how he goes about getting away from them. So that wasn't too bad. It's not one I'd keep. I'd give it probably 5, maybe 4 or 5 out of 10. It was okay, you know, some good cast to it. A lot of people will watch it and recognise most of the cast anyway. You've got I think there's EastEnders in there. Birds of a Feather, one of the blokes who's been in Birds of a Feather, and somebody Ford, I think his name is. And the only problem I have with it is the guy who's the head of the gangsters really over the top, you know, he's really mouthy and loud, and he just, I don't know, he doesn't need to do that. He's shouting every single line he says, and it's just a bit too much. But I watched it late last night, so that was that done. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm just in Tesco, like I said, going to have a coffee, and then we're going to head off home. I'll do some more later.
Well, today's been kind of a nothing day. From the video I recorded earlier, you see that I was in Tesco just having a coffee. After that, we just came home. I'd been home about 40 minutes when tiredness just hit me, literally hit me. I've got a lot of pain in the base of my back as well, and my shoulders were aching. So I went upstairs and had a couple of hours sleep. It's now 9:30 at night. I've done nothing since I got up. I've just had a nice good chat with my friend actually, Mr. Ian Marrick from Stoke. He's just setting out on a new venture basically. He's going to be a DJ at a radio station in Leek Moorlands, so I'm wishing him all the best for that. And I'll be plugging his show at some point when I get the details off him, so stay tuned for that. In the news actually, I mean, I read a lot of news. I'm not one of these people who dissects the news, but some of the stuff that's on there just absolutely cracks me up. I mean, the main one at the moment is obviously Boris Johnson's comment about burqas. Now, I remember that for as long as I can remember, comedians have been doing jokes about things like this. And I know that if his comment had been in a comedy show, a stand-up comedy show, you know, like you get on Blackpool Pier, you know, a Chubby Brown type thing or something like that, then the audience would have laughed. They would have gone mental, you know, they would have laughed and rolled around on the floor and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you'd have had the odd one that would have gone, yes, that's racist or whatever, or you shouldn't have said it. But I think the problem we've got these days is we are so thin-skinned, it's ridiculous. You can't tell jokes about age, sex, height, race. You've got to watch every single thing you say. Because jokes that I used to tell years ago, which were really funny and people used to laugh at, nowadays people would find offensive. Yet I don't do vulgar jokes. You know, I don't do jokes about disasters and stuff like that. I don't do all that sort of stuff. But some of my jokes now, I've realised they would be offensive to some people. And I think by the time the next generation comes along, say 50 years from now, when I'll no longer be here, maybe, because I'll be 96, so I might be, I suppose. Say 70 years from now, when I know I definitely won't be here, I think there'll be such a restriction on what you can and can't say that you'll literally be getting fined every 5 minutes for saying the wrong thing. It'll be a bit like, what's that film called? With Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock. I can't remember what it's called, but he goes into the future. And who's it in it? And all Snipes. Wesley Snipes plays Simon Phoenix in it. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, he goes into the future and literally every time he says something wrong, a machine spits out a fine at the side. You are fined 3 credits for profanity. You are fined 5 credits for... And I think that's what it's going to get like. I really do. I think that society's going a bit mad with things like that. But in the news, like I say, you see these stories and you hear these things, and you can have a massive disaster, right, that's wiped out 100 people, tornado or a freak earthquake or something in Indonesia or Malaysia or wherever, and it gets noted. But then all of a sudden, the main news will be a celebrity's brought a new dress, or such and such has got kicked off Love Island, and you're like, wow, this is how we are now. We are more bothered about celebrity stuff and about stuff that's not important in the slightest, really. But we would rather do that, unless it's us that's affected, unless it's us that's affected personally, we don't seem bothered about things like that. Because I noticed it when Dad was doing the Race for Life. And now I know that there are millions and millions of people that are affected by cancer, millions, and we've all had some dealings with it. And when Deb posted her Race for Life appeal for see how many donations she could get, I reckon 90% of people skimmed past it because they were like, oh no, she's asking me for money. No, don't like that. Because it was amazing that after she'd done it and posted that she'd done the Race for Life, she got hundreds of people commenting saying, well done Deb, way to go you, fantastic, blah blah blah, you've earned this much. Because altogether she earned £260. Now that isn't bad. Now that isn't bad at all. But you think that if you took like £1 that you would spend on next to nothing, really, £1 doesn't get you much these days, and said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll donate that £1. Now you might say, well, £1 isn't much. But I've got 5,000 people on my Facebook. Now if 5,000 people gave 50 pence each, 50 pence each, then Deb would have had £2.5 grand, £2,500. I mean, I'm doing my Movember this year. I'm doing that. Start of November, I'm not shaving for an entire month. And you'll be able to see it on the video. You'll be able to see the scruffiness and everything. And I'm raising money for that. Now, the most I've ever raised in 1 year, when there was 2 or 3 of us doing it, was 230, I think it was. Now, bear in mind, this will be the 5th year I've done it. And I haven't surpassed that 230. But what I will be doing, I'll be trying, because at the end of the day, it's for prostate cancer. And prostate cancer is a big, big, big killer of men. It's like, I think it's the cervical cancer equivalent for women. More women die of cervical cancer and the men do for prostate cancer. And it's just amazing how people, as soon as you mention it, people are interested. But when they see there's something about donating or something, they suddenly go, oh no, not another charity, not another charity. But the minute there's an appeal, like a television appeal for aid abroad, because it's a TV appeal, they'll donate, and then they'll say, well, I feel good, you see, because I gave money. But you only gave money because it was a TV appeal. If I'd have asked you for money in the street for that, you wouldn't have even looked at me twice. You'd have just walked straight past me, because I've seen them do it in town. I've seen them do it in town. I can stand in town and watch a Oxfam collection, and the amount of people that will just walk straight past him, won't even talk to them, act as if they're not there, this kind of thing. And yet, all they need to do is say, I'm sorry, but I cannot afford to give to charity. Now, I remember a few years ago, I had a phone call, and this was a really upsetting phone call, actually, because a woman came on the phone and she asked me about a charity. And I said to her that I couldn't afford to give to charity. And she went through all the stuff. I said, I'm sorry, but I still can't afford it. And she says, well, it works out at 40 pence a day, blah, blah. I said, I'm sorry, I still can't afford it. I said, I'm on benefits, I'm on disability. And this is the tone of voice she used. She says, what, you can't afford 40 pence a day? And I hung up. I hung up because I thought, there's no way you should talk to somebody like that. You shouldn't make them feel guilty because they're not going to give money. You shouldn't do that. I mean, I'm not making people feel guilty because they don't give money. I'm quite happy if people share my post and share it on their wall, and they share all the details. That's fantastic, because to me that's like a donation. You're sharing, you're promoting what I'm doing, you're promoting the fact that I'm raising money for charity. Now that's fantastic. But those people, I can just imagine those that just go, oh, quick, scroll down the page as fast as I can, and then I don't have to look at that. That's one thing that does annoy me. I would love to be able to give to every single charity thing I see on Facebook. I can't do it, but if I see something that somebody's doing for charity, I'll share it. I'll promote it, because it doesn't cost nothing just to click share and promote it. Why kick up a fuss? Just do it. then you know you're doing your bit. You're doing as much as you can. It's not money, but you're doing as much as you can. Anyway, that's me done for today. I've filled another 10 minutes. All right, I'll catch you all soon. You lot take care. Bye for now. If you're enjoying the videos I'm doing, give us a like, and if you can, press the bell at the side of the like, and you'll be notified every time I put a new video on. Okay. I keep meaning to say, and forget every single time, except if I add it on. If you do like what I'm doing and you want to subscribe, the link is there. And if you want to see yesterday's video and what I was up to, it is up there. Okay.